Connie Nussbaum, America's Kick-Ass Coach and the owner of Empowerment Coaching, and I'm going to see if I can make it all the way through this video without my business phone ringing or the dog barking. We'll see how I do. So, I help frazzle business owners and entrepreneurs get out of feeling overwhelmed by their life and their business and get back into selling to more customers, freeing them up to soar to greater heights, and to enjoy accelerated business growth. Well, and also to have a really good personal life. Because oftentimes when you're overwhelmed by your business, you're pouring yourself into it 24/7 and you really don't have time to have a balanced life. So, let me give you a quick example of this in terms of stress and anxiety. Have any of you ever experienced stress and anxiety related to things that you had to do work-wise, business-wise, etc.? If so, feel free to put yes in the comments below. And did that stress and anxiety keep you from doing things like being able to pick up the 500-pound phone and make a sales call, or deal with a coworker who was creating problems for you, or address a company issue? I want to share a few simple holistic hacks that can help you reduce or eliminate that anxiety and stress in your life. So, if I've piqued your curiosity, type interested in the feed below and let's see how many rounds of interested we can get. So, there's two things I want to show you. They're body-based ways to release stress. What I'd like you to do first, though, is rate your stress level. I'd like you to pick a situation where you feel a pretty high level of stress, hopefully work-related, but if something else, that's fine too. And I want you to rate it on a scale from 0 to 10. 0 being I'm not stressed at all by this thing, 10 being I'm ready to jump out of my skin and run down the road screaming. Okay? Give it your rating. And now I want to show you two different ways. The first one is called Cook's Hookup. What you do is you do this while you're seated. Just cross one ankle over the other, and then put your arms out in front of you zombie style. Cross one wrist over the other. Fold your hands down and interlace your fingers. Then you can just rest them in your lap, or you can bring them up to your chest, whichever is more comfortable for you. Then I'd like you to just close your eyes and imagine that situation that creates a whole lot of stress and anxiety for you. Make sure you keep breathing while you're imagining. And what you're looking for is some kind of a shift internally. That shift may be a nice sigh, it may be your shoulders coming down, but just some kind of a feeling that something has changed. Once you feel that, and it usually happens pretty quickly, once you feel that, I'd like you to uncross your feet and put them flat on the floor, unwind your fingers and put them together like this. And so if you think about your brain as being your biocomputer, basically what we just did was this was telling that computer to edit, and this is telling it to save the new programming, which is a relaxed state of being when you're in that stressful situation. Now I want you to again rate your stress level. Check in with yourself. 0 meaning there's no stress there. 10 again being you're ready to jump out of your skin and run screaming into the night. And hopefully you've noticed that it's decreased some. So now I want to teach you the second one. This one is a tapping-based method for reducing anxiety. Your collarbones come here. There's that central notch. I want you to come down an inch. There's a little rise there in your chest. That's where your thymus gland is. That's actually a great place to tap if you're feeling a little punky, you're not feeling good, etc., because that gets your thymus gland moving, doing its thing a little better, and your thymus gland is part of your immune system. But for the stress, we're going to come out an inch on one or the other side, and you're just going to tap there. You can also tap on both sides. Pretend you're Tarzan. Whatever feels good to you. Just tap for a little bit, then I want you to take a breath and let that out. And now again, I want you to rate that stress level, thinking about that event, that work stress that you have that bothers you. 0, not stressed at all. 10, again, ready to jump out of your skin. Again, I hope you see that it's decreased. Now, one of the things that people will say to me is, well, you distracted me with the tapping and the breathing and all that stuff, and that's why I'm not feeling it. What I suggest to them is, and I want to suggest to you right now, drive that anxiety back up. Let's see how high you can get that anxiety to go. Think again about that work situation, that person that drives you nuts at work, the stress that you have of owning a business, whatever. Drive that back up. Can't get it to go as high, can ya? That's part of what's happening when you recalibrate and reset your body. So, I also want to give you another little caveat here. Oftentimes, a side effect of using these methods for dealing with stress and anxiety is kind of a blasé attitude after the fact. So let me give you an example of that. I had a business owner who I was treating for anxiety, and he had been throwing up on his way to work for approximately 2-3 months. Every day on the way to work, have to pull the car over off the road, open the car door, throw up, proceed to work. He was so upset about how things were going in his business. So he came to see me. We did the intake session, and I taught him some of these methods. We worked our way through the whole process, and by the end he was feeling really good. He left, came back the next week, and I said, "So, how's your week going?" And he said, "Well, it was a pretty good week." And I said, "Okay, tell me about your pretty good week." And he said, "Well, I did this and this," and he rattled off some of the things that he had done with his business during the week, and no comments about throwing up. And I said to him, "Well, what about the throwing up on the way to work?" "Oh, that hasn't happened." So you've been puking for 2 to 3 months on the way to work every day, and now you're not throwing up and you're blah? But sometimes that kind of happens. So you may want to track your success in a different way than just based on your attitude about it, because some of these methods can help you just sort of chill out about this stuff. So, my dog's giving me the business here. So these are just a few of the simple tools among the many that I can teach you to make your life and your business easier. So if you'd like more of my tips, I'd invite you to do one or both of the following. One is to like my business Facebook page, which is Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum. It's Nussbaum. And or go to my website, which is www.empowermentandpurpose, all spelled out, all little letters.com, and sign up for my free audio download, 10 minutes for breathing life into your life. And that will also start you on my free weekly tips series, which gives you some other additional hacks on living a better life. So, that's it for today. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's Kick-Ass Coach, and remember, we're all capable of far more than we think we are.